It's been 3 days since Shimio's defeat. Mashida and Sho have left, leaving only Christy and I at the mansion. We've not had any new mark bearers arrive, nor any new info on any spirits. Death's footsteps keep drawing closer. Good work, Lady Christy and Lord Light. Did you obtain any clues? No, nothing really. I'd hoped, but... I see. Lady Saya's studies seemed optional to contain something of interest. Christy and I just finished investigating Saya Kujo's study. It had been full of mountains of specialized books and piles of reports. It was a daunting task, but we did our best to search through them regardless. Except it was all futile. Everything was about healing the spirit. Nothing mentioned the mark at all. Hey, Mr. Light? Don't you think it's useless to keep searching the mansion? You have any other ideas, then? Well, remember what I said about H Shrine? No. What? You lost that memory? It's in the forest by H Castle. I was thinking, maybe the shrine is connected to all this spirit stuff. That's what Shimio's notes said, right? Everything happening in the forest is the divine wrath of H Shrine. Then you think the mark and the spirit activity are because of this divine wrath. It's definitely a possibility. Disasters happen in many ghost stories and myths because of the wrath of gods. Isn't there value in looking into it? Maybe. Exactly what I'd expect from you. Always so quick on the uptake. Christy is brimming with confidence. She seems in a much better mood than she was 3 days ago. She's a famous reporter after all, so maybe this is what she's really like. So, Mary? I'd like to go see H Shrine. You don't mind, do you? It is true many unpleasant rumors surround that forest. If the cause is H Shrine, there may be some clues there. But even if there are, if it's spiritual, then how are normal humans like us supposed to find it? Christy and I don't have spiritual powers. In that case, could you bring me along with you to H Shrine? I should be able to sense the presence of anything spiritual. I can act as a guide as well. You know that shrine? Yes, in truth, it enshrines the guardian deity of the Kujo family. Over the generations, the heads have taken care of the shrine. However, that came to an end after the recent war resolved. As one who serves the Kujos, I am concerned about its present state. Then bringing you along would mean I have to carry you, don't I? As it is impossible for me to walk, I would agree with that assessment. I am sorry to inconvenience you. An overgrown forest in the dead of night. I'm not looking forward to having to carry Mary all the way to the shrine. You look worn out and we haven't left. It's a small price to pay if we can get any hints about the spirits. That's true. I think Mary's eager about this too, so I'll just have to deal with it, I suppose. Okay, let's go back to the forest. So she has higher intel and spirit power. And I'm not really sure if I'm getting stronger as we go through this because I'm not really paying attention to my stats. Is something the matter? Are you not heading to H Shrine? Before we leave, we put Mary in the back seat. Thank God she's not as heavy as she looks. I should be able to carry her just fine. By the way, Mr. Light, have you read the files over there? She points to the right side of the room and shelves packed with files. Not yet. I've searched most of the mansion, but I haven't checked the garage. Oh, really? Christy grabs a file and flips through the pages. It looks like articles on various crimes. The clippings cover every incident in H City and the surrounding area. Was Miss Kujo looking into criminal activity? Any of it look related to the mark? No, not as far as I can tell. These are all extremely old. The most recent is dated 5 years ago. She puts the file back. Alright, should we head out soon? I park outside the entrance of the forest and gather Mary into my arms. We make our way to the familiar arch. There's still a long way to go. A middle-aged man carrying a doll. You're practically a ghost story yourself if someone sees you here. I am very sorry to cause you such trouble. Mary stares up at me as I hold her. Her skin and hair glint bewitchingly when the light from the flashlight catches them. I have not been outside in a long time, and to go hiking in the arms of such a fine gentleman. This is a very precious experience. She sounds as dispassionate as ever, but is she actually having fun? Still, it is just as the rumors say. This forest is filled with the curses and resentment of the dead. Simply their presence is enough to drive the living mad. The land is tainted. I can see why it has given birth to monstrous spirits. I bet if you track down the cause of it, it'll be divine wrath. Let's hurry to the shrine. Okay, good, because I was about to Google a map for this place. We reach the old torii gate with no trouble. We stand and watch for a while, but nothing comes out of the beehives. They seem to be sleeping. It is most likely because Shimio is now gone. A shrine is up those stone steps. At Mary's direction, we walk toward the gate. A small black shadow flits across our feet. It's that rabbit again. So this is the rabbit you told me about, Lord Light? You are correct. It is very cute. The rabbit stares up at the two of us. Then disappears toward the shrine. What in the world was that about? What do you think, Mary? I felt a strange presence. It appears to be possessed by some kind of soul. So it's a spirit, too. Indeed. Though it does not appear strong enough to give marks to humans. We know nothing of its true nature, so please proceed with caution. We follow the rabbit under the torii gate and up the stone steps. So I was actually thinking the rabbit was Mary projecting herself, but I guess not. At the top, we find the wilderness creeping in. There doesn't seem to be anything here but an old altar. Is this H shrine? Sadly, it has fallen into disrepair. The war was over 50 years ago. I suppose this was to be expected. That black rabbit is gone. Deserted shrines give me the creeps. Let's hurry up and get to the searching so we don't stay here too long. Headless Buddha statues are buried in the ground. Creepy. Wonder what happened here. Well, not too much to look at here, is there? There's a sacred Shime Nawa rope on a ragged boulder. Wonder if that boulder is in Iwakura. What's that? According to ancient Shinto tradition, it's a sacred rock that a god descended on. It's not uncommon for the rock itself to become an object of devotion. It's a wooden shrine altar. A clouded mirror serves as the Go Shintai. Looks like it's true that no one's taken care of this place for a long time. I peek inside the altar just in case, but all I find is a thick layer of dust. The Go Shintai is outside and the altar's empty. That's concerning. I don't think there's any more we can search. The Buddha statues concern me. Why are all the ones within the shrine missing their heads? Shinto and Buddhism were ordered to be separated during the Meiji period. Before then, many shrines were dedicated to both. Eight Shrine was much the same. But in the Meiji period, there was a push to make Shinto the main religion. The faiths were forced apart. Extremists stole the Buddha statues from the shrines and desecrated them. Oh, the famous anti-Buddhist movement. So this is where that happened. No, it was done in a public space as they wanted to make a show of it. The broken statues were carried here to serve as a memorial for worship. The Cujo family head was said to be aggrieved, so he moved them in secret. It seems that all the broken statues from around H City were buried here. Strange. You said they were worshipped. This place is pretty much a ruin. You have a keen eye, Lord Light. The shrine was subsequently dug up, and the statues were stolen. So they came all the way into this huge forest just to carry off broken statues? Who would do something like that? That I do not know. I merely heard they were stolen 50 years ago, around the time of the war. So the statues were broken, thrown away, and then dug up. They say the Buddha has a wealth of patience, but even he'd get angry. Could that anger have turned to divine wrath and given birth to the mark and spirits? Mary, have you been able to feel the presence of any spirits or whatever? About that, this land is much more foreboding than I had imagined. The enmity of the forest swallows all else. It is hard to sense beneath it. So, too much background noise, right? Yes, although I do sense the same presence as Lady Christie's mark, however faint. I am sure the spirit that gave her the mark is somewhere in the forest. So after all that, we were only able to reconfirm something we already knew. Forgive me, I was unable to. You don't have to apologize, Mary. We learned plenty of value here. What do you mean? I'll tell you on the way back. First, let's get the hell out of here. This place gives me the creeps. Maybe it's the ill will Mary sensed. They're gonna make me walk out. We leave H Shrine, walking down the beast trail toward the forest entrance. Maybe it's because of that strange tale, but for some reason I feel like someone is watching us from the darkness of the trees. We begin driving back to the mansion. As we break out of the dense forest, I can see building lights pop up here and there. Well, that was a complete waste of time. My anxiety lifted. I don't even bother to filter the words that slip out of my mouth. Oh, I don't think that's true. It's all coming together for me. Without further prodding, Christy starts in on her theory, passion evident in her voice. I believe Shimio was right. H Shrine is definitely what's causing all the strange stuff in the forest. I'm sure it's those stolen statues. Don't you agree? I wonder. It feels like we just don't have enough info at this point to say one way or the other. But there's no denying that a lot of strange things are going on in that forest. Between all the suicides and Shimio wandering around, couldn't just be coincidence, could it? If we research the shrine, we might learn more about the mark. I feel it's a lot safer than risking our lives looking for the spirit. Don't you think? You might be right. My replies are half-hearted, which isn't what Christy was hoping for, so she falls silent. An awkward, uncomfortable silence settles. Lord Light, please stop the car. Mary speaks for the first time since we entered the car. What is it? I sense a presence similar to Lady Christie's mark close by. Following Mary's request, I park in a vacant rest stop on the outskirts of H City. Christy and I step out of the car. My mark is suddenly scalding. Is something nearby? Look, someone's over there. In the phone booth? A small girl steps out of the telephone box. Why is a kid outside at this time of night? Thank you for bringing me out here this late at night, Eita. I got to talk with Hanayome. Oh yeah? Glad to hear it. A rather round young man appears, stepping out of the shadows. You got your question answered, Suzu? Yeah, it's okay now. Hanayome sure is amazing, though. She knows where everything is. You got that right. She helped me find my limited edition Love and Hero phone strap I dropped. What's Love and Hero? What? You don't know? They're a popular idol group here. They've been all over TV lately. I'm surprised you haven't heard. TV is restricted at home. Mom says it rots your brain. Oh, Ada. Is the bus coming soon? Oh, the last bus is on its way. We better go. We'll be in big trouble if your mom finds out we went out. Yeah. We watched from a distance for a while, but it's hard to determine their relationship. The pain from my scar is suddenly gone. Hey, Christy. What do you think? I turned, but Christy isn't there. Hey, you there. Just how do you know that girl? Depending on your answer, I'll report you for child abduction. Well, there goes Christy, hounding the poor guy. Just calm down. I try to placate her, but she won't budge. The man stumbles over his words. He looks flustered and overwhelmed. Hey, lady. Don't be mean to Ada. The girl rushes to stand defensively in front of him and glares at us. She seems a lot more level-headed than the flustered guy behind her. I asked him to help me, okay? I wanted to talk to Hanayome, so I had him come with me. Who's this Hanayome you keep mentioning? A ghost who helps find things. People say that you can talk to her from this telephone box. A ghost, huh? She looks at me. We're both thinking the same thing. Earlier the mark was hurting, so maybe. You guys look serious. What's going on? He nervously glances between us. Does this scar look familiar at all? I show them the mark on my right arm. Hey, hold on. What is this? That looks exactly like mine. He pulls off one of his gloves and reveals the mark on his hand. It's the cursed scar, yeah? I saw an article on it in Uparts Monthly. They say it causes amnesia, even kills you, but that's nonsense. It's not all true, right? Right? Sounds like he'd heard the rumors, but chose not to do anything about it. That's no surprise, really. It's tough to believe it's real until your memory loss starts becoming noticeable. I've got one of those, too. It showed up on my left wrist when I made that phone call earlier. Pulling up her sleeve, she shows us her mark. They both have the mark, and after calling Hanayome. That's more than a coincidence. Well, we can't just leave them here. Let's bring them to the mansion. We tell them what's going on and ask them to go to Kujo Mansion with us. It surprisingly doesn't take much to get them to come. I thought it'd take more convincing. Could partially be because they missed the last bus while talking with us. Before they climb in, I warned Mary to stay quiet until we get back. Might be a bad idea to freak them out. First, we introduce ourselves. The man's name is Ada Nakamatsu. The girl is Suzu Morimiya. They tell us they met through the reader's column in Uparts Monthly. Suzu mentioned she was interested in Hanayome, and Ada told her what he knew. Then she pestered him into bringing her to the rumored telephone box. They were out this late because of her. Her parents sound pretty strict. Her mother keeps a close eye on her after school, and she needs permission to go out. So she snuck out of the house after her mother went to bed. Hanayome is just as famous in my school as Hanahiko is. Hey, Ada, please tell them about those rumors. Do I have to? Okay, fine. Ada reluctantly tells us at Suzu's request. They're just rumors I read, but... Hanayome. I'm going quiet real quick because I want to look at the box art, because I thought she was on it. No, she's not. Huh. For some reason, that picture sticks out to me a lot more than anything else I've seen in this game so far, and I can't place my finger on why. I'm gonna have to look around later, but anyway. Hey, remember that one story? You know, the one about the public phone box in H City? There's a ghost that looks like a bride, and she'll find what you're looking for. One of my friends actually tried it. He went to a specific phone box that lets you talk with ghosts. The phone suddenly started ringing. He slowly picked up the phone. But all I could hear was this weird smacking noise. He stayed on the line until... Did you see it? He heard a woman whisper. So he did what the rumors said to do and said, "No, I haven't seen it." Then she said, "What do you want to see?" His cat had gone missing, so he asked where it was. When he looked where the woman said it really was there. So the rumors are totally true. I want to go ask her where my future bride is now. Oh, want to come with me? There. I carry Mary from the car and gently place her back on the sofa. Thank you very much. Being in your arms is not bad, but I am most calm when I am here. The doll really talked. I can't say I expected that. Then does that mean all that stuff about the mark is true too? On the way over, we updated Suzu and Ada with just about all they needed to know. They may not completely believe us, but they're not rejecting it outright either. Seems like Ada in particular has already experienced some memory loss. So I felt forgetting the names of anime characters or voice actors. Christy looked at him strange, but he appears to be taking it quite seriously. And Suzu snuck out of her house because she believed the rumors about Hanayome. They both believed in the occult already. I'm pretty sure they'll help us find a way to escape the mark. Granted, they're also really curious about Hanayome. Pardon me, but may I speak? The marks on Suzu and Ada, they are likely from Hanayome. And Lady Christie? The feeling I sense from your mark is the same as theirs. So we can assume Hanayome also gave the mark to you. Do you recall encountering her? Something weird did happen. Right before I entered the forest, I stepped in the phone box on T Mountain. The phone rang out of nowhere. Oh, it might be because of that. The telephone box at the rest area is also in the rumors of Hanayome. But I didn't pick it up. It creeped me out, so I left. I was never able to give that person one final call because of that. Who are you talking about? It is not for children to know. Fine. So there are other phone boxes like that. I think there are 3 that Hanayome will call from. The one we went to in the A Highway parking lot is one, and one is at T Mountain Rest area. That's the one Miss Christie went to. And, Ada, where's the last one? At the park by T Apartment Complex. It's the only one inside the city. But why just those 3 locations? Dunno. The BBS I read didn't say. Bulletin board system. Basically like an online forum. Mister? Do you really think Hanayome is the one who gave us the marks? Really? But the rumors about Hanayome go back 5 years. And no one's ever mentioned that if you call her, you'll get a mark. Suzu's right. Rumors about this mark thing only popped up super recently. So you're saying Hanayome hasn't always been giving out the mark? If that's true, I wonder what triggered the change. Of course, I can't really say, seeing as I don't know anything about spirits. A ghost helping people find what they're looking for. That's pretty strange. Definitely the definition of ghost story. Hey, Mr. Light? If those rumors are true, why don't we try asking where the stolen statues are? If we return them to their places, it might just save our lives. Search for the Buddha statues. If Christie's right, we might be able to escape the mark without finding the spirit. Mary, what do you think? A good question. Objects with human forms are easily able to gain inexplicable powers. Bleeding stone statues, cursed dolls, there are many examples. Historical statues of gods and Buddhas would certainly be no exception. Asking Hanayome about them would be a good idea. So says the doll before her eyes that has the inexplicable power to talk. Maybe it wouldn't be strange that Buddha statues could bring down divine wrath. Lord Light, may I add, as I explained previously, your mark is... it is different from the others. Vanquishing spirits seems to weaken your mark's power. It's been several days since she told me that I was going to die. Taking care of the spirits we encounter is likely how I'm still among the living. What are you trying to say? I cannot say what the relationship between your mark and Hanayome is, but it is true that it is in your best interest to track down spirits. I hope you will guide these mark bearers this evening as well. I can't really picture Christie and Ada facing off against a spirit by themselves. If they failed, then a child would suffer the deadly consequences. That would weigh heavily on me. No turning back. I'll figure something out. Thank you. Mary bows her head slightly. Now, you should begin investigating Hanayome. Why did she only call from 3 public phones within each city? Her secret may lie in the answer. You visited the parking lot already. Please investigate T Mountain and the park by T Apartment Complex. New info is added to the spirit file. Rumors of Hanayome other. So, I need to go away for a little bit. We'll pick up here in a moment and try not to screw up too badly. Before we head out, in case you're wondering where that picture that I was saying is so familiar is from, it's the actual... Can I show it to you real quick? There. Plus you can kind of see what other games I have here. No, start the software, damn you. So with that out of the way, let's go investigate. Is the park the same one that I did the whole beekeeper in? I don't know. Let's go rest area. As you may have guessed, it's been a day change since I played this, and as a result, I'm not 100% sure where I left off. Anyway, the phone booth stands solitary on the edge of the vacant rest area. An endless sea of trees stand behind it. Christie must have run into the forest after she heard the phone ring. I can hear a dog howl from nearby. It almost sounds sad, but I'm probably just imagining it. Christie doesn't seem bothered by it. She's completely focused on the phone box. I must have gotten my mark from Hanayome back then, but I was completely oblivious. I wasn't exactly in a right state of mind. Rumors say the phone is supposed to ring if you wait by it for a while. I'm guessing waiting outside doesn't count. Probably not. It only rang after I'd stepped into it. But the booth is too small for 2 people. Either I or Christie will have to go in. You aren't thinking I'll do it, are you? Well, ladies first, after all. Dangerous jobs are best left to men. That's really sexist. I guess I'll just have to go in. It's cramped inside and almost impossible to move around at all. I'd be a sitting duck if a spirit attacked me while I'm in here. The clouded glass makes it hard to see the outside. That just makes me more nervous. I wonder how long I'll have to wait until the phone rings. To pass the time, I glance around at the inside of the booth. There's a poster attached to the window. Help our investigation. On the night of February 8th, I don't actually know if that's at February 8th or August 2nd, I should mention, an assault took place in the near forest nearby. If anyone has any info on this case, please notify H Police Department. This is dated 5 years ago. Looks like something terrible happened here. The phone begins to ring. I hesitantly reach out and pick it up. The only sound I hear is the dial tone. No one is speaking. What's going on? Suddenly there's a strange noise. Crunching, smacking, like the sound of saliva as someone chews. Did you See? It... Tucked in the smacking is a woman's voice. The voice is creepy, cold, and chills me down to the bone. Is this Hanayome? Did you see it? She asks a second time. The rumors mention that I should say. Does this matter? They're all negative. Very seriously, I say, I haven't seen it. What do you want to see? It's going exactly as the rumors said. Hanayome is supposed to tell you the location of whatever you're looking for. Christy told me to ask about the Buddha statues that were stolen from 8th Shrine. I'll give it a try. Buddha statues, Lord Buddha? Doesn't your arm already have the mark of the Buddha on it? Tell me, you want a new Buddha? Why are you doing that? Tell me. Well, tell me. Tell me. Tell me. Tell me. The line goes dead. The woman's scream is still ringing in my ears. I feel sick. Must be because of my brush with that blood-curdling insanity. Why didn't she answer my question? What was different from when the others asked? The mark on my arm burns dully, like it's reminding me it exists. Maybe this is why she was acting strangely. And she did say something to the effect that Buddha gave me this mark. Was she just too insane to differentiate between Buddha and a monstrous spirit? Or is this mark really the work of divine wrath from the Buddha statues? I wait a while longer, but the phone doesn't ring again. There's no point in staying in here. As soon as I leave the booth, Christy comes up to me. You don't look well. What happened? I tell Christy about my conversation with Hanayome. What? That's not in the rumors. Christy's brow furrows in confusion. Should we go check out the other phone box for now? Maybe there's a clue there. We can also see if you can ask again. There's no time to get lost in thought. The last phone booth is at the Park by T Apartments in the other direction. We'll head there after stopping at the mansion. It's probably wise to ask Mary what she knows since it's on the way. New info's added to the spirit file, the second phone box. Okay, so we need to go to the park. I thought we were supposed to go to apartments, not the woods, but... Okay, this is a different park, I guess. I see a small park tucked between all the looming apartment buildings. There's no one here. I guess everyone's already asleep. They said this was the phone booth from the Hanayome rumors, right? Would a spirit really appear in the middle of the city like this? Well, now that I'm here, I still have no idea why Hanayome hung up on me. I followed the rumors exactly. Where did I go wrong? I scratch my head. Don't adhere to the gossip. Defy it. Suddenly I hear that strange voice again. Gossip. In other words, the rumors. What will happen if I don't follow the rumors? Christy, go back to the car. There's something I want to try, but it might end up backfiring on me. Sure. I don't know what you're going to do, but please be careful. Oh, and I almost forgot. I have a message from Ada. Yeah? It's about the latest information on Hanayome from the BBS. Take a look. Christy hands me a note written by Ada. Don't talk about eyes or things like it when you're on the phone with Hanayome. If the call goes sideways somehow, don't say I, okay? P.S. Best to avoid anything that even sounds like I. What? Don't say I. This is it? Yeah, that's all. Anyway, Ada said he was sure it would come in handy. I'll keep it in mind. Christy returns to the car. I step inside and wait for the phone to ring. This part's gonna make me feel really bad for the translator. Just saying. There's a poster in this booth, too. Just like the one at the rest area, this looks like it's been here for a few years. Young woman kidnapped. A local young woman was kidnapped close to this location. If you were a witness to this crime, please notify the police, MPD. February 8th, 5 years ago. I think the poster I saw at the rest area had the exact same date. Coincidence? The phone rings. I grab the receiver and slowly pick it up. I hear a noise like someone chewing gum from the other end of the phone. An icy cold voice speaks. Did you see it? Yeah, I did. You saw it, didn't you? You saw that thing of me. Well, she took that well. The voice cuts off. Something outside collides violently with the glass of the booth, but I can't see it. Tell me, how did you see it? With your own eyes? Or eyeglasses? A telescope? So all of those have the word eye except for the third one. So keep in mind the first person pronoun I is most likely going to count too. Probably words that even have a long I sound in them. It sounds like something's searching around outside the phone box. You saw it. You said you saw it. What color? A beautiful color? Red? Pink? Green? So I and likely. Pink is the only one here that doesn't have the word I or something that sounds like I. Clever translator, clever. You saw it. What kind of person are you? What's important to you? Your dreams, romance, love? Which do you choose? The I is in the third one, and I don't know how definitively is being pronounced, since there are ways to make the long I sound there. The phone goes dead. The next I know, the bloody handprint is gone, and so is the ominous presence. The questions she asked me were strange. She was particularly anxious about what I had seen. I think I did a good job not mentioning anything like eyes in my answers. Overly conscious over being seen. Maybe that's where her secret lies. I exit the booth and Christy rushes up to me. My marks started hurting out of nowhere. Did it all go right? Did it go all right? I tell Christy about what happened in the telephone booth. I have no idea what that means. Guess there's no way she'd know the answer. Something's on the ground there. Sure enough, there's a folded up piece of paper lying near the booth. Looks like a piece of stationery. I don't think it was there before I went into the phone box. I pick up the paper and open it. To Seiko. I'll dispel all of your heartache. So forget that horrible incident and take your quiet rest up in heaven. An incident? The posters I saw in the telephone booths mentioned something like that too. Could they be connected? I asked Christy what they think. Christy looks deep in thought. What is it? Oh, nothing. Well, we've checked out all the boxes, so let's head back to the mansion. Something still bugs me, though. Yeah. We should probably head back for now. So, the third phone box, the one that's much bigger on the inside than it looks from the outside. So that toolbox on the right side, we need a sonic screwdriver right now. Hey, Mr. Light? You know those posters in that bit of stationery we found? Could they be linked to Hanayome? She might have been someone who was caught up in the incident and killed. If that's the case, then... Chrissy turns towards the shelves with files. Files full of articles on criminal cases. The dates were 5 years ago, right? Then there might be an article on what happened here in these files. We could use more help. Maybe Ada and Suzu can give us a hand. Go ahead and call them over. All four of us begin reading through files. The clippings range from the smallest dispute to the most heinous crime in each city. But they're all dated 5 years ago or earlier. Did they get stored in the garage because they're so old? After a while... I found it! The victim's name is Seiko. The date is February 5 years ago. Gotta be it. Christy lays the file out on the desk and we all peer at it. The file has articles about an incident that happened 5 years ago. The victim's name was Seiko Hasegawa. Apparently she committed suicide in the forest by H Castle on the eve of her wedding. She was in her dress when she was found. Suzu, you probably shouldn't read anymore. It's pretty bad. Thanks, Ada. But I want to know more about Hanayome. I feel like I need to do this. She's cringing, but she sounds determined. Between this and sneaking out at night, she's a surprisingly brave kid. It's rather odd for someone her age. I remember now. This happened back when I used to be a news anchor. Christy mutters just loud enough to hear. Then do you know the whole story? It was horrible. It's hard to recount. A woman was abducted by a gang while she was walking her dog. They brought her to the forest and assaulted her. People found her battered and staggering along the road the next day. The dog was run over and killed near the forest when it chased after them. That's horrifying. Yeah, but that wasn't the end of Seiko Hasegawa's misfortune. Ada somberly cuts in. His usual grin is nowhere to be found. It's well known in some circles, but her assault was photographed. The pictures were sent to her fiancé. They threatened to make them public if he didn't pay up. I heard he gave them a ton of money to get the photos and the negatives. Is that true, Christy? Yeah, I heard that as well. Because of all that, Miss Seiko had a mental breakdown. And in the end, she hung herself. She'd been a serious, honest woman, so she just couldn't bear it. The cruel fate of a woman attacked before her wedding. We fall silent as that reality weighs on us. Suzu timidly speaks up, her face pale. Maybe there's a connection between what happened to Miss Hasegawa and Hanayome's phone boxes. According to the article, the incidents that wrecked her life took place near each phone box. She was abducted by the park and assaulted by the rest area. She was found wandering near the parking lot by A Highway. The phone booths connect Hanayome and Seiko Hasegawa. The coincidence sends a shiver down my spine. So that note we found by the telephone booth. Did Seiko's fiancé write it? Most likely. What's strange is that it was there, and not where she committed suicide. Did Hanayome put it there? Maybe she was telling us something. I have no clue how spirits think, but if Suzu's right, then that note is an important clue for us. I seem to recall Miss Seiko's fiancé was a famous musician. As a result, the case was widely publicized at the time. It happened right after they returned from a romantic trip to Greece. Old ladies were sobbing about how it made it all the more tragic. And the poor dog they brought on the trip died heroically as well. Where's the fiancé now? Well, he began acting strange due to the shock and then went missing. Some say her suicide was to follow him. but he wasn't the only one who disappeared. It sounds like all the culprits were missing too. You hear about that online too? Well, something like that. The internet wasn't the same back then. There were only hubs. Hubs? Like pre-internet chat rooms? Everyone was talking about it on the occult hubs back then. There was one person in the community who knew way too much. I think he was one of the culprits. He brought up a bunch of things, like taking pictures and all that. And I bet those were the pictures of the assault. Yeah, that's right. After they were finished, those assholes got a camera out and took pictures of her, her face soaked with tears. The whole time she yelled, "Don't look, don't look." Don't look, huh? Hanayome has an extreme reaction to being seen by others. He kept going on about it, night after night, until he suddenly stopped posting. People who knew him said that they couldn't contact him at all. Those guys deserve to die, but it's still really creepy, you know? Suddenly, a line from the note pops into my head. I'll dispel all of your heartache. Hey, Christy, do you happen to know exactly where in the forest Seiko killed herself? I was a reporter at the time, so I did go to the location, but that was 5 years ago, so I don't remember exactly. I feel like I went west from that big arch at the entrance. So, you're really going to go? Yeah, we might be able to figure out something about Hanayome. Fine, I understand. I've had my fill of that forest, but I suppose we have no other leads. Gathering info at the mansion, other... So... Like, I'm wondering, should I change out partners here? Can we see his stats? Nope. I do not want to hear that anymore. They had to give him an obnoxious voice, didn't they? This is more awkward than I thought. Being out alone with someone who, until recently, was planning to kill herself. Do you have something you want to say? She noticed right away. Was I being that obvious? No, not really. It's fine, you don't have to hide it. You're wondering if I still want to kill myself, aren't you? Is this a woman's intuition? No, maybe I'm just crap at hiding things. Don't worry, I don't anymore. People hate it when things are forced on them, right? Doesn't matter what it is. I can trust you, right? Yes, at least for now. Here's hoping she keeps feeling the same, at least while we're together. Just then the tires hit a bump in the road. I can see a square gray object in the back seat through the rearview mirror. Is that thing back there yours? No, that's Ada's CD radio cassette player. Why something like that? He said we might need music during the drive and then went and put it in here himself. We don't have any CDs or tapes. Should I turn on the radio? No, I'll pass. The conversation grinds to a halt after that. It's like there's an invisible person between us. After falling silent a while, Christy finally speaks up again. It only makes sense for the conversation to turn one direction. It's rather worrisome, don't you think? After all this time, they don't know. Who doesn't know what? Those two. They think that spirit just helps you find things. What a naive fairy tale. Yeah. Christy is exactly right. You quickly become disillusioned once you actually face a spirit. But thinking about it, wouldn't that be best? Christy looks at me in shock. Wait, what are you saying? I just mean, our lives are on the line here. Would you stop joking around? Sorry. She's furious at me, but it looks like she was telling the truth about not wanting to die. She's got too much pride. Someone like that would never commit suicide. What's so funny? Nothing. When we make it back again. I stare at the headlights and contemplate where we're going. That sigh was pretty deep. I can't believe we're here again. At least I can feel better knowing he's not around anymore. I almost remind her about Hanayome, but I stop myself from opening my mouth. I don't want to break her tenuous calm. Okay. It's supposed to be west of the gate. I look to the west of the gate again, but there's no sign of a trail. Strange. Maybe I'm remembering wrong. When I came here researching an article, there was a path to the west. Suddenly, Chrissy's face stiffens. What's wrong? I feel cold all of a sudden. I follow their gaze and see a loose shadow dashing out from the darkness. A dog. It certainly seems like one. It kicks up the dirt with 4 legs, but it looks off somehow. Its fur is long and disheveled, and from certain angles its face looks human. The dog stares at us, growling softly. What is it? Are you trying to tell us something? You're being too gentle with it. You need to sound firm when you talk to a dog. Act like its master. Weaker dogs like to bark, right? So ignore it and stay quiet. So ignore it and stay quiet, huh? I guess that's true for humans too. Powerful people tend to ignore others. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. The dog barks loudly, then vanishes into the western underbrush. The moment it's gone, the chill in the air dissipates like it was never there. Was it trying to guide us? Maybe. I shine the flashlight on the spot where the dog disappeared. A now familiar pain shoots through my wrist. The mark's color grows more vivid. A few hours left until death closes in. There's probably not much time left. We better hurry. Let's check the bushes over there. Investigating the forest again. There's a thicket of trees next to the gate. With the dog gone, I push my way into the underbrush. I spot the traces of what used to be a path. You could barely call it one at this point. This must be the closed hiking trail. The path goes west from the gate. That's right, I remember now. This is the path I took before. That dog, was it trying to show this to us? Who knows? Anyway, let's get going. There's nothing here. There's something in the grass at the foot of the tree. It's a wad of paper. I push the grass aside and pick it up. Found a worn-out talisman. When I pick up the worn-out talisman, I feel warmth. Let's go this way. Something's in the grass. I can't see it well from here. I feel around in the blades of grass. Instant camera. I've hit the switch before I realize, and a red light appears. Apparently that means the flash can be used. It must still have battery left. Not that we're going to take any pictures with it. You're right. I turned it off and quickly stuffed it in my bag. I decided it's wise not to mention the dried blood that stuck to the bottom of it. To see is to perceive light. That distant voice echoes in my head. True, seeing something means you're seeing the light it's reflecting. And that's the wrong it's there. That's the possessive, not the contraction. But what does that have to do with Hanayome? Around the tree covered in photos. I shine the light on the grove of trees in front of us and catch a glimpse of something odd. What is that? Something's posted there? I can't make it out from here. I move forward for a closer look. What is this? All thought in my mind ceases. It's as if I'm unable to process what I'm seeing and my brain comes to a halt. Are these photos? There are a bunch of pictures of different people posted to the tree, but they're all these photos have nails in the eyes. It's just as Christy said. For some bizarre reason, each photo has a person with nails driven through both eyes. Attached to the nails is some kind of tape. Cold sweat drips down my back. What kind of grudge would cause someone to do something like this? Hey, all the people in these pictures? Are they all men? Christie's mutters are just loud enough to hear. Huh? I look over the photos again. A good number of them are deteriorated so they're hard to make out, but they may be right. Yeah, looks like it. All the subjects are men. That's clearly not a coincidence. I feel a little dizzy and step back. Through my blurry vision, something flashes in the light from the flashlight. What's wrong? Nothing, it's just over there. Something sparkled up there. Something might be there. We should check it out. Up here. Something up in the branches of the trees reflecting light. Something must be stuck in the branches. The only way we'll be able to check it out is to climb up the trunk. Are you thinking about climbing the tree? There aren't any cavities, knots, or branches within reach. It'll be hard to climb up it. So... this is just between us, but I weigh... She whispers in my ear. Okay, that's off the table. I refuse. There's no way I can climb that. Looks like that's not going to work. I take a deep breath and jump at the tree. I struggle to reach for a while and manage to touch a branch until... I crash to the ground with a spectacular thud. Ow. I told you. So yeah, we gotta ditch her. She's gutsy, she can handle it. The other thing to keep in mind, since my legs are longer, if I have to run from the ghost, I'm going to get away faster than she will. Just saying, you have to consider all things when addressing a situation like this. Okay, get up there, you little punk. Suzu glances down at herself up at the tree and then looks at me. Yeah, I should probably do it myself. Looks like that's not going to work. If that's all, then... okay, I'll try. I squat at the base of the tree and let her climb up on me. Up you go. I stagger a bit, but manage to stand. I feel like I'm on one of the trees now. Can you reach? Just a little to the right. I'm almost there. Susie reaches as far as she can with her hand, and I lose my balance. We both crash to the ground. Are you okay? I'm fine. Here. Susie shows me her hands. It's holding the object that was stuck in the branches. Dog collar. A collar? It makes me think of the dog we saw before coming here. Does this belong to that dog? I wonder who threw it away. Who knows? As I'm putting it away in my bag, I spot an inscription on the inside of the collar. Yeah, I don't know Greek, really. Those are sighs on the right, I believe. And then renta, or is that... So I don't think the E or the N is actually a Greek letter there. How are you supposed to pronounce that? Pictures on the tree. I hear a low growl from somewhere. I can't see what's making it, but it seems to be watching me. Oh, we did see that dog at the gate. I'm not sure why, but I feel an intense hostility directed toward me. What should we do? The instant Suzu speaks, the growling grows distinctly quieter. I remember the photos. All of them were men with nails in their eyes. I don't know what that has to do with the dog, but if those pictures demonstrate the hatred that saturates this place, if I'm with Suzu, it might react differently. I consider my options. I've got an idea. I take the collar out of my bag. Maybe. It's a safe bet that the spirit was born here, so the dog is likely tied to this collar. I face the general area the barking is coming from and show it the collar. The dog appears like a gust of wind. Whoa! Before I can blink, it steals the collar from me. When I try to quickly jump away, I hear Suzu call out to me. Mr. Light, don't move! But I don't catch the rest of it. The dog rushes at me so fast it looks like it's gliding over the ground. The dog stops in its tracks. It seems confused that I'm not reacting and just standing still. It shuffles back on its guard, then prepares to attack it again. It bares its teeth and growls. You are insignificant. I break my gaze and turn my back to it. I pretend to not hear it threatening me. It growls for a while until it abruptly stops. The dog holds the collar in its mouth and stares at me. That collar has an inscription on it, doesn't it? I'm sure it said... that. What should I call it? Genta. I mutter the name. The dog perks its ears. I say it again, this time more clearly. Then... the dog turns around and quietly slinks into the brush. It disappears from sight. Seems I somehow managed to escape death. I pick up the collar that was left behind and sigh deeply. Are you okay? Yeah, that was... I can't even say it. I can't even say it was no big deal. My words simply trail off. That's all I can answer with. I pat myself down with my hands, but I don't seem to be injured anywhere. I did feel teeth biting into my hand when the collar was snatched from me, though. That dog may be supernatural. I hope it doesn't attack again. I think we'll be fine. It found what it was looking for. You're right. Hang in there, guys. Hang in there. A sound like a rope creaks above my head. Silhouettes swing in the shadows of the trees. My whole body shudders with dread. Are those people? Suzu gives a terrified yelp. Speechless, I shine my flashlight on them. They clearly aren't people. They're mannequins. The things hanging by their necks from the trees are display mannequins that you find in any department store. Obviously, dolls can't commit suicide. Is this someone's idea of a prank, or maybe a warning to intruders? The only one who knows the truth would be whoever did this. Let's go. I don't think they're dangerous. They're only mannequins. Okay. Suzu replies uneasily. But before either of us take a step forward, I feel a shaky hand gripping onto me. The doll is mercilessly hanging by its neck. It has something in its left hand. Grabbing onto it to stop it from swaying, I open the hand and take what's inside. A male doll is hanging from a tree. Wonder what the person who did this was thinking. The dolls swing unceasingly from their ropes, even though there is no breeze. It's that dog. Suzu, be careful. No, it's okay now. It won't attack anymore. It's that dog from before. It starts digging in the dirt right in front of us. After a few moments, it disappears like mist. What was it doing? Is there something over there? Let's take a look. It's the only thing to interact with. It's the place where that dog was digging. Upon closer inspection, the dirt there appears to be a different color. I reach out and touch the dirt, but the texture under my hand surprises me. The dirt around here is soft, almost as if something was buried. Give me a hand. You're going to dig here? I don't think we'll need any tools. Please. Okay. In silence, we kneel in this forest in the middle of the night and dig up the dirt with our hands. I feel like I'm robbing a grave. It could be that those words popped in my head because I somehow knew what we'd find. Distracted. I look down at what we dug up. What we find is a corpse. It's just a skeleton now, but it doesn't look that old. Is that a corpse? Yeah. My reply sounds incredibly flat and uncaring, even to me. At some point, death has become familiar. That fact, and not the corpse, is what sends a shiver down my spine. I'm too comfortable with the world of the dead. I know this, but I can't escape it. One part of me observes the remains before us and reacts calmly. Just then I notice something. What's that? There's something white in the skeleton's hand. I dig it out and discover it's a plastic bag. Inside are a number of cassette tapes and some kind of note. The note's deteriorated, but parts of it are legible. I killed them all. One's assault you. Now you rest in peace. What needed to be done? Now I die here. This forest. You passed away. New song. Want to listen in heaven. The note ends there. Got 3 cassette tapes. That sounds like a suicide note, doesn't it? But these tapes... She looks at cassette tapes. Why are they buried too? They look at the remains as if asking them the question. Of course, it's not going to reply. I don't know. I trail off. A different voice is whispering in my mind. The last. The voice falls silent. The last. Wait a second. The last what? Is something the matter? I didn't say anything. It's nothing. Sorry. Just talking to myself. Anyway, let's take these tapes with us. Unidentified suicide victim. So, is there anything else for us here, or are we done here? The mark burns scarlet. Half an hour left until death closes in. Out of nowhere, my mark flares up painfully, the intense pulsing setting my nerves on fire. Shit, are we out of time? I bite my lip and look at Suzu. Suzu, can you hear me? Yeah. It's finally here. It all starts now. I grab Suzu and run. The spirit is closing in on us. Did I get in the car to go somewhere? Regardless, I'm here inside it, gripping the wheel. The mansion. I need to go back there for now. I glance through the rearview mirror at Suzu in the back seat. Suzu is staring vacantly out the window with a slightly tilted head. The only thing out there is darkness. There's nothing to look at. Ada's tape player is laying on its side in the passenger seat. I grabbed it from the back, needing to play one of those tapes. We quickly arrive at Kujo Mansion. Even if I discuss it with Mary, it's probably best to listen to a tape first. I reach for one, but as soon as I do, I notice something odd. Where are we? I'm on an unfamiliar road, like I took a wrong turn somewhere. No, it's not unfamiliar. I've clearly been down this road before, but the route I was taking should have had no way for me to come across this road. That's the only way I can describe it. It's impossible. Calm down. I must have made a mistake because I was messing around with the tape player. I wouldn't get lost on the way to the mansion. I've been to it so many times now. I just missed the first intersection and ended up somewhere strange, that's all. That's what I tell myself as I make a U-turn. But no matter how many times I go back... Damn it, why am I here again? No matter how I turn, I end up on the same road. Right, left, or keep going straight, I still return to the exact same place. This is ridiculous. I hit the steering wheel. Maybe it was because of my outburst, but my mark starts burning with pain again. This is bad. Really bad. At this rate, death will catch up to us while we're here in the car. Having said that, we can't go back to the mansion. I don't think we'll be able to get out of this maze no matter how many times I try. In In that case, what should I do? Where should I drive? I turned the steering wheel in the direction of the place that popped into my head. T-Mountain. It's not that I have to go there. The destination is important so long as it gets me out of the situation. I hit the gas pedal and abruptly turned the wheel, trying to get out of this cursed trap. Finally, familiar scenery returns, as if it was laying in wait for me. In the end, we're back here. The phone is ringing. I know exactly who's calling. The mark is dyed a deep crimson. A few minutes left until death closes in. I head to the phone booth. I've got Ada's radio cassette player in the bag holding Seiko's memories at the ready. I pick up the receiver, but the phone immediately goes dead. You saw it, didn't you? I know you saw it. Well, if Fatal Frame taught me anything, say cheese. I quickly grab the camera and use the flash. The spirit shrieks, and while it's distracted, I tumble out of the booth. Once out, I spot it out of the corner of my eye. The spirit's standing there, looking down at me. The camera's battery is dead. What should I do next? I stick Charm Song into the tape player and press the play button. Listened often, dear. The spirit responds to the song. The spirit quietly drifts closer. What should I do next? I stick Echo Ballad into the tape player and press the play button. I love. The spirit responds to the song. The spirit quietly drifts closer. What should I do next? I stick My into the tape player and press the play button. I don't know this one. The spirit responds to the song. The spirit is right in front of me. Hey, let me listen to the newest. I stick mine to the tape player and press the play button. Yes, that song was finished. A dog comes bounding over from somewhere, barking happily. Gen, is this where you've been? Come on, let's go. He's waiting. There's a flash of light. I blink and the spirit is gone. I don't sense Hanayome anymore. She's gone now. Hanayome. Suzu is back to normal. I bet their mark's gone. But mine's still bright on my arm. I guess Hanayome didn't give me my mark after all. Then Hanayome really was Seiko Hasegawa. What a sad, terrible fate, turning into a ghost after she died. I feel sorry for her. This place isn't too far from where Seiko died. Maybe that's why. The instant Hanayome vanished, I thought I caught a glimpse of her loyal dog. I hope her dog and the song her fiancé wrote for her help her be at peace in heaven. Should we head back? Yeah. Huh? The phone starts ringing out of nowhere. It won't stop. It's like it's waiting for someone to answer. What should I do? Hello. On the other end of the line is the gentle voice of a woman. I'm so very sorry for causing you so much trouble. Please excuse me. Was that a wrong number or something? I was a little panicked, but now I relax. I step out of the booth and get into the car with Suzu. Welcome back, Mr. Light. It's thanks to you that my mark is finally gone. Too bad I didn't get to do much. I've read a ton of comics about exorcisms, so I thought I could help. Good job to you too, Suzu. Everything went okay? Yeah, it's all thanks to him. Oh yeah? I bet I could have done a better job than him. I awaited your return, Lord Light. It appears that you overcame your fear and cleared away the grudge. Congratulations. Though it is unfortunate that your mark has not yet vanished. I've managed to defeat 3 spirits now, but my mark still hasn't disappeared. Feels like that terrible fact might just freeze the blood in my veins. But I vowed to fight against the mark. All I can do now is press forward. Mr. Light, may I have a word? I looked through the other files in the garage after you left, and I found this. She hands over a file that says 8 shrine findings on the cover. Saya Kujo's signature is in the corner. The Kujo family's guardians were housed there, so it makes sense that this was here. Go on, read it. Most of it is about how 8 Shrine was built and its history. It lines up with what Mary told us. Everything that happened from the anti-Buddhist movement to now is in here. But it looks like even Saya didn't know who stole the statues 50 years ago. Some pages are about 8 Shrine's Go Shintai, the item that houses the deity spirit. This shrine has 2, a mirror and a small Buddha statue called Nenjibutsu. The Nenjibutsu should be in a brocade pouch, but I never saw anything like that at the shrine. I wonder where it ended up. The last few pages contain notes on an investigation into the stolen statues. It mentions a rumor that started circulating a few months ago. K. Miyamichi North Road in H City. It's a back street that, due to the city's poor planning, is covered in manholes. Because of that, people call it Manhole Road. On a moonless night, a young woman was walking down it on her way home from work. An old sign said, "Be wary of strangers." Suddenly fearful, she attempted to hurry her steps down that dimly lit back street. But she couldn't take a step forward. A noise. Something heavy being dragged. And then a figure was discernible from out of the darkness. It was a woman with disheveled hair, wearing a burnt white robe. She cradled a headless Buddha statue as if it were her own child. The shadows and hair hid most of her face, but she could see her blood-red lips twisted into a satisfied smile. Terrified by the eerie sight, she turned on her heel and ran away. Some distance away, she turned back to look. But the woman was gone. The statues were stolen 50 years ago, so it wasn't that woman, but I doubt it's that easy to find headless Buddha statues. I'm sure she must know something. I asked Hanayome where the statues stolen from each shrine were, and now there's an unexpected lead. What a strange coincidence. If you can find those stolen statues and honor them at each shrine, the divine wrath will be quelled, and you might be freed from the mark. Another way that might possibly allow me to escape my mark. It's worth looking into at least. Oh, before I forget, you should take these too. Documents in the Hasagawa case that we found after you left. Read through them if you want. It is almost done. We must end today's investigation. Please rest. Thank you very much, mister. Because of you, I think I'll get to go see my dad, too. You need to go somewhere to see him? My mom and dad got divorced. Oh. Yeah. Mom decided that she wanted to become a nun. She started taking me to temples and a lot of sacred areas. Dad didn't like that, and he started seeing some other lady. I understand. You don't have to say more. I guess Suzu's been embroiled in the world of adults for a while already. Maybe that's why she's so brave while being so young. I asked Mom to tell me where Dad is, but she wouldn't say. She told me he's bewitched by a demon and to forget him. So that's why I wanted to ask Hanayome where Dad is. I see. I hope you get to see him. Me too. Okay, good night. I'm really in your debt. It's thanks to you that Suzu was saved. Thanks so much. He seems more worried about her than himself. His appearance, personality, and job all make him suspicious, but that one thing is clear. I know she asked me to, but I was the one who brought her out there after all. So if something had happened to her, I just... Hey, are you alright? I'm so glad she's okay. The hot tears streaming down his face are those of relief, apparently. You should head to bed for today. I'm sure you're tired, right? Yeah, thanks. Good night. I'm heading to bed soon myself. My mark's finally gone. I think I'm going to sleep well tonight. There's no reason for you to stay any longer. You're right about that. I'll be leaving tomorrow. Sorry, but even 9 lives wouldn't be enough to survive staying here. You said it. But I'm grateful for all this too. It gave me time to rethink my life. Ironic, isn't it? If I hadn't been cursed by a spirit, I'd be in that forest right about now. Christie's smile turns wry. Well, I'm off to bed now. Good night. Now then, Lord Light. Please find me when you are ready. Farewell. The truth behind Hanayome, other. Here we go. So if you want to see the end of her story... If the corpse is her fiancé, then the tapes may have songs he made or ones that are meaningful to them. What was the whisper of the last trying to tell me? Did he want his fiancée to hear the last song? The dog that guided us is definitely the ruined form of their beloved pet, if I can manage to connect all this together when I face Hanayome. Might have all started with a lingering grudge caused by that tragic event. Hanayome was likely Seiko Hasegawa. She became a spirit obsessed with eyes, in imitation of her fiancé's revenge. Their dog turned into that thing in an effort to save them. The info I got from a fellow mark bearer points to that as well. Her fiancé was a musician known as YMN back then. He made a name for himself by cross-mixing genres into his music, from rock and pop to classical and techno. Around the time of the incident, he had been working on a new album. The last song in it was My Holy and dedicated to his fiancée. But in the end, the album was published without that final track. The song and her fiancé's love finally reached Seiko. I'd like to think it's because of us and Genta. I hope the tragic tale has finally come to a close. But some things still don't add up. How did Hanayome suddenly get the power to bestow the mark? The answer might lie with the Buddha statues stolen from H Shrine. The files in the garage mention the Buddha statues were stolen from H Shrine 50 years ago, right during the period of chaos following the end of the war. Is there a connection? What's more, a year-old interview said someone witnessed a woman in white carrying a headless Buddha statue on the street called Manhole Road. Maybe I should look into that next. It's nearly dawn. I better get some rest. Are you retiring to bed? Good night.